morning, children. Welcome to your English class. In today's class, let's learn about transitive and intransitive verb. First, let's see transitive verb. Whenever a verb that have an object to receive that action is called transitive verb. Let's try to understand better with some examples. Jessica sharpened the pencil. In this sentence, Jessica is our subject, sharpened is a verb, pencil is an object. In this sentence, sharpened is a transitive verb because it has an object, pencil. Pencil receives an action of a verb. I hope you understand. Now let's see a couple of more examples. I ate pizza. In this sentence, I is our subject, ate is a verb, pizza is an object. Ate is a transitive verb because it has an object which is pizza. Pizza receives an action which is ate. Therefore, ate is a transitive verb. In my next example, he carried the bag. He is subject. Carried is a verb. Bag is an object. So carried is a transitive verb. So whenever a verb can have an object that can receive an action is called transitive verb. Now let's move on to intransitive verb. Intransitive verb do not have an object. Do not have an object which can receive the action. For example, he ran. In the sentence, we only have subject and verb. So ran is an intransitive verb. Let's see a couple of more examples. Asha fell. In the sentence, we only have subject and a verb. Let's see one more example. The dog barked. In this sentence, there is no object to receive the action barked. So barked is an intransitive verb. So intransitive verb do not have an object that follows the verb. So now let's see transitive and intransitive verb in detail and understand the difference between these two.
Students, now let's understand transitive verb using some sentences. So the first sentence is, I baked a pizza. In this sentence, I is our subject, baked is a verb, pizza is an object. So in this sentence, we have subject, verb and an object. So baked is our transitive verb because it has an object, pizza. So as you know, verbs are action word. So in this sentence, pizza receives an action of a verb. So remember, whenever a verb can have an object to receive that action, it is called transitive verb. I hope you understood. Now let's move on to the next example. Now let's look into our next example. He rode the bike. So in this sentence again we have our subject, verb and an object. So in this sentence, rode is a transitive verb because rode has an object, bike, therefore it is a transitive verb. I hope you understood. Now let's move on to the next example. Now let's see the last example. In this sentence, move is a transitive verb. It has an object, sofa. So sofa receives the action of a verb, move. So hence the word move is a transitive verb. So I hope you understood. Now let's move on to intransitive verb. Intransitive verb. Let's see the first example. I laughed. As you notice in this sentence, we have a subject and a verb. We have a subject, I, and a verb, laughed, but there is no object. So, therefore, intransitive verbs are action words that do not have an object receiving the action. So now let's look into a couple of more examples of intransitive verbs. The book fell. In this, fell is a transitive verb, which is a transitive verb because in this sentence we do not have an object. So we have the subject and a verb. It does not have an object that follows the verb. So in this sentence, fell is an intransitive verb. Now let's move on to the next example. Last example, he walks to the park. Again, in this sentence we have a subject, walks is a verb, and here we do not have an object because to the park is a prepositional phrase. It is not an object. So therefore these words are intransitive verb. So the word walks is an intransitive verb which do not have an object. So I hope you understood the difference between transitive and intransitive verb.
Students, I hope you understood the difference between transitive and intransitive verb. That's all for today. See you in the next class. Till then, happy learning.